very many people interested in football, and I always thought that football was a very important game, but I never realized until today just how important it is.
Whether the Wonder Boys of White Hart Lane are or are not the team of the century can't possibly be more than a matter of opinion.
Well, they're the finest team in Great Britain, and one of the best in the world.
We are about the glory of the game. We are about playing with style. We are Tottenham Hotspur. The curve of the ball, the billow of the net, the beating of the trap and the picking of the lock, the swiftness of thought, the lightness of touch. We are Ginola, Greaves, Klinsmann. We are the collective gasp, the intake of breath, the flick, the trick, the 30-yard free kick. We are Hoddle, Mabbott and King. We are the lob, the chip, the dummy and the volley. We are the hat trick, the scissor kick. We are Bill Nick.
That is schoolboy's own stuff.
We are the outside of the boot, the inside of the net, and those seconds that last forever.
It's Lucas Moura. Oh, they done it! I cannot believe it! Lucas Moura with the last kick of the game.
We are Jennings, Defoe, and Perryman. Glory past, glory future, what was, what is, what's next. We are Blanchflower, Ardiles, and Bale. We are about winning with a flourish. We are about winning with style. We are about the glory of the game. Daring to try, daring to risk, daring to dream. To dare is to do.
Good evening. And good evening, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham past, present, and the exciting future on that Mr. Ange Postecoglou. And look who I found, loitering round the back of White Hart Lane, looking to see could he break in to nick a few trophies for Ange. It is the one and only Mr. Philip Brady. How are you, Philip? I missed you earlier, by the way.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to make an unexpected journey today, so sorry if I wasn't around. But
no, you be honest. You were doing an extra Tom Jones gig. Me and Carl were talking about this earlier.
I wish I was. No, I'm afraid not.
Well, when me and Carl have to find your extra bookings now. We need you to go out and earn some money for Angie's transfer key. So we're gonna have to take you to Vegas and do you like Elvis. You know, 2 shows a night, 7 weeks. You know,
well, that should bring in about £5.10 anyway.
I don't know. It all helps, Philip. It all, but me and Carl are taking 50% of that. So
it's £2.55. Then,
yeah.
All right. Okay.
But how are you anyway, sir?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm grand. Yeah, fine. Just enjoying the weather down here. It's bitterly cold.
It is bitterly cold up here in Wexford as well. Interesting day, Philip. We did the video just there a few minutes ago for you members for our P-match thoughts and all that. So, guys, that will be going up tonight. So, give us about an hour. That will be up for you. So, enjoy that. Let's see who's in the chat first, Philip, before we get into this, before we get a crack on. We've got Stephen Cartwright become a member earlier. Big up, Stephen. Great, Stephen. And thank you so much for becoming a member. We've got Daniela Zito. Good evening, Dermot and Philip. Hope you're both well. Have you heard that we're in for Wolves move Joe Gomez?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
what do you reckon,
indeed.
Philip?
Well, I've also heard tonight, now, be it true or not, that Calvin Phillips, who has played 4 games totaling 89 minutes for Manchester City, would rather go to Newcastle than Tottenham. So if he doesn't want to come to Tottenham, let him go to Newcastle.
Yeah,
and Gomez is as good a player with a lot more game time under his belt.
Yeah, there is. We've got Mazda Man. Big up Mazda Man. Evening, guys. We've got Chris Welch as well. Big up, lads. Hope you're well. Carl Simpson says, I'm sorry, Philip. It would have to be you, as I've tried to sell my body, but there are no takers.
My God.
We've got Mazda Man saying it's freezing here in Galway, but the Guinness going down well, guys. Fair play to
There
you.
you go. That's not like Guinness and Galway on a Monday night, huh?
Yeah, that's true. Might do a show from Galway one night, Philip. What do you reckon? Going the road trip around Ireland.
Oh, he probably, if he did it in a pub in Galway, it would be too noisy. The noise would be something else going in the background, anyway.
We'd be too drunk by doing it too.
To find a quiet spot.
Yeah. Now we've got a bit of news. Look, Philip, it is about FFP. I watched the full documentary on the Man City thing, which I'm absolutely shocked over. I'm just cannot believe how they've whittled their way out of that one. But we're hearing today that Forest has been charged, and so is Everton again. Just very quickly before we get into it all, Philip, I asked you before on the members show we did for the pre-match, post-match show, is FFP as an entity dead in the water? Because it doesn't seem to be going after the clubs they should be going after.
Well, this isn't FFP. This is profit and sustainability that Everton and Forest have been done under. FFP are the one that are going after the bigger fish, I think. I don't know. I don't think it's dead in the water. I think it's swimming very slowly, though. It's getting there slowly but surely, and it has to have a result to prove it's in the end to justify its existence, you know. But this profit and sustainability thing, it seems to be kicking in, and I think as you're going to learn later on, they're not finished yet.
Pardon me. Sorry, Philip. I'm just dying quietly. Now, do you want to read some of these out, Philip? My voice is gone because I've been talking a lot today. So
this is FFP and profit and sustainability. They're kind of all mixed in together anyway. Everton and Nottingham Forest they have been informed now that they've been found in breach of the PL profitability and sustainability rules for a 3-year cycle up to June last year. Both have prepared mitigation and will launch robust defences. I think Everton themselves must feel hard done by because they got done for the cycle ending 2022, and now they've been done again for the following year. So that watch this one. I think their appeal might actually be successful there. And Everton and Nottingham Forest. Now this is the bit that's very, very interesting. Everton and Forest are the first of many clubs in the Premier League who are going to be charged with FFP breaches this season. There could be as many as 6 more English clubs to be hit by a points deduction and a punishment. And just in case you're wondering which clubs are involved, all we can say is that Tottenham are not one of those clubs, which is good news. The lottery and who the ones are, though.
Yeah. Look, I want to talk a bit about this 6 small clubs, Philip. Do you want to sort of should we say who there might be? Carl Simpson's here has put them here, Philip. He says Newcastle, Arsenal, Fulham, Villa next.
Yeah.
Would you think that would be a few of them?
Well, Newcastle certainly. Yeah. Arsenal probably. Fulham possibly again. And yeah. I'd say Newcastle and Arsenal would be the 2 I would have thought of first.
Yeah.
Fulham and Villa wouldn't have been in my initial list. But see, we don't know what's been going on, really. We don't know. And now we're about to find out.
He also says FFP will destroy City and Chelsea. People are just wound up because it seems to be missing them a lot. That's
what I was saying earlier. It's getting there slowly but surely. And I mean, to be honest with you, the FFP ruling could absolutely destroy Manchester City.
Yeah. Well, we cannot speak legally on that because I've been told I've agreed to an NDA on this that I cannot speak. What I know will shock your guys down to the tree, but I can't say anything till I get the green light. It is so frustrating, isn't it, Philip?
Yeah, it is. It is. All right. Yeah. Very.
So let's stick with Everton. Look, where does Forest come into this, Philip? Let's start with Forest first. Where does Forest fit into this? Because they were in the Championship.
Yeah.
And they've only had is this their first season up in the Premier League?
No, so second.
So why are not the Forest in it? Is it because of what they did last season? They spent a load of money last season, didn't they?
Yeah. So they bought about 20 players. They're bound to foul the rules by buying so many players, you know? Remember, we were having a joke about them having their own name tags in the dressing rooms, so they knew each other's names. Yeah, I'm not surprised Forest are there now. No, but again, I'd say they're marginally there. They're not. They wouldn't be in for well. Then again, if you're there at all, if you're guilty at all, you're there. But I'm just wondering: is the points deduction mandatory, or is it depending on the seriousness of your exposure? Is it if you lose 50 million, you get a 12-point deduction, but if you lose 20 million, you get a 6-point deduction?
Yeah,
I'm wondering
I don't know. I don't know.
No, I don't think anyone does, because I've heard a 6-point deduction mentioned tonight now, which is opposed to the 10 that Everton got.
I mean, you look ahead. This relates to period which covers the season 2019-20, 2020-21, 21-22, 22-23. So you've got COVID within this as well, Philip, where clubs were losing money.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, you look at the likes of Tottenham, who will not get done for this because we know how squeaky clean and tight Levy is. Clubs. Do you think clubs don't know how to work FFP, or do you think that they're so sort of up their own backsides? It's like we can do what we want, sod the rules.
I think any club that thinks they can do what they want is foolish in the extreme, because they should take note of what happened to Everton, and take note of what's happened to other clubs in lesser divisions, Derby, Sheffield Wednesday, people like that, So no, I think they'd be very, very foolish. But then again, there are clubs like Everton. The ownership of Everton in the past few years, absolutely shocking. And the fans, remember last season, the board of directors, Bill Kenwright, the late Bill Kenwright, they were advised not to go to the games because they couldn't guarantee their safety from the fans. That just shows you how bad things were at Everton,
And they're still under the same ownership, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, but I think they've maybe got their act together a little bit better, But it would be a normal kick in the teeth if they got another points deduction after having one already. It would certainly relegate them, because they're only 1 point ahead of the relegation zone as it is, at the moment.
Now, Philip, how this works is, now I've had to write notes down for myself. I wrote it earlier and I had to write it down onto Philip thought he was going to rake messages from Tom Jones Society members, fans that love him, but it was actually from me. So what it is, Philip, right? So it's 105 million over a 3-year period, which you're only allowed 35 million for each season, which in the scheme of things isn't quite a lot, is it, compared to how much these clubs operate at? You're looking at billions. For
half decent player is going to cost you 35 million, isn't it? So,
Now, Forest and Everton are going to have 2 independent commissions, one for Forest, one for Everton. Now, where we're hearing, Philip, they're going to be held in private, and then whatever comes out of that meeting will be released publicly. Now, there is an appeal for Forest and Everton, and I think Chelsea as well. But when it comes to Man City, there is no appeal by the Premier League against Man City. So, could City turn around and say, hang on a minute, how come they get an appeal and we can't? Or is it a completely different set of circumstances?
Oh, God. Yeah, it is, I think. I think the Manchester City one is different. It's FFP. It's not profit and sustainability. And I have a feeling, do you remember City, as you watched in the documentary there, Dermot, City were found guilty and got off on a technicality. The arbitration people let them off, right? I don't think they're going to be so lucky this time around. But they're not cooperating as far as I can gather. So the thing is dragging and dragging and dragging. But the only thing I would say about that is if you don't cooperate and you're found guilty, they should throw the book at you. No mitigation at all. Get the full extent of the punishment that's coming to you. And I believe that is severe. That if they get hit with a full penalty, they won't even be in the Football League anymore, which is an horrendous future for Manchester City if it happens. It happened to Rangers in Scotland. So the precedent is out there. Doesn't matter how big you are, you're going to take the fall if you break the rules.
Look, we'll get through some of the chat, Philip, here before we carry on. But I watched that documentary, Philip, and I was absolutely astounded by what came out of that. How UEFA fucked up as well, by the way. Excuse my language, but they did muck up.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
They didn't push them on certain amounts what they should have done. But you could tell, a blind man could see that City were up to diddling the books. Do you know, even with all the emails they were showing, you're thinking, hang on a minute. Even I'm not a financial person or a lawyer, but even I can see that they should have been found guilty. So we're going to get into that, Philip, as well, because I've got a few questions in the chat for that. We got Chrysler's, obviously, in my opinion. No, we agree with you, Carl. We've got Masterman. We have a lot, though. Duh. Yeah, that's true. Do you want to bring these up, Philip? My voice is starting to hurt. So if I bring this up, do you want to answer them?
Boris Britt saying, well, Fulham were hit when they were in the Championship. Yeah, that's right. So Fulham have form in that particular thing. Masterman, we have a lot to thank Levy for keeping a squeaky clean, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, I know Daniel Levy is not without his faults, as we've highlighted ad infinitum on this channel. But one thing he does do, he runs a tight ship.
Yeah.
And there's very little chance of Tottenham ever getting hauled into the FFP situation or the profit and sustainability.
Yeah.
Daniela is saying Sarr didn't even play at all today for Senegal. Right enough. He was on the bench, but wasn't brought on. He was an unused sub. And Son played the full 90 minutes and got booked in the 94th minute as well.
That was nice.
And they won 3-1. They won 3-1.
Yeah.
So Senegal won as well.
Yeah.
Carl Simpson, we can help Forest out with a £20 million bid. Yeah, that's true. That's it.
I can see Daniel Levy rubbing his hands tonight thinking, excuse me, Mr. Forrest, if we put in a 10 million bid plus add-ons, would you accept that?
Make it 5. Make it 5.
Big up, Martin.
Martin, good evening, Martin. 95.8. And Carl said half the owners thought they were untouchable. Yeah. The others were just so desperate to compete they lost the plot. That's a good point. Yeah. It's a good point. You know, they were you keep up in the Premiership or you get relegated, you know. And Boris Britt, they are just under the same ownership but got a huge investment off the streaming platform Kick that is backed by a major gambling company. Yeah, that's true. Now I wonder will Kick keep or that gambling crowd keeping an eye on things there because old habits die hard. And the present owners do it again, you know. Carl Simpson saying, hell no, City lied through their teeth to the FA. So they did, yeah, of course they did. And got away with it.
Yeah. But they haven't got away with it. They got away with it through they haven't got away with it through they got away with it through UEFA, but they haven't got away with it with the Premier League.
Got them out of it, but they're not out of the woods by any means.
And they can use the emails and everything that FIFA said they couldn't use, the Premier League can use them. And they can go back to the accounts when it started, which I think is 2008-2009 season.
Yeah, okay.
So they can go back. They can use that. UEFA couldn't use that. So we have to see what happens. Shamu there.
Shamu saying whoever was on the board for that commission checked their bank accounts. Yeah, true. Or check their waste paper bin for brown paper envelopes. Shamu is also saying forward to THFC till I die. That's all right. We'll put our bank details up later. Yeah. Shamu is also saying Judge Moyles, I am the law.
I am the law.
Put on your black cap there.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. No, this is you, Philip. You're the judge, jury, and you're the executioner.
Oh, God. Yeah. And Carl is saying, UEFA love not having to deal with City. It's called passing the buck elsewhere. Very true. Yeah. And Shamu is saying 10 million and 50% of the Skywalk for a year. 50% off Skywalk. Yeah. And if you're very good, we'll give you a harness to go up and do it. Boris Britt saying, well, Barca get away with it from UEFA every year. Yeah, Barcelona have sold their TV rights for the next 100 years or whatever it is at a fraction of what they should have got for it. So it'll come back to bite them eventually. They got out of jail a wee bit there, but they're not out of it in full.
I just want to say big up to Mick, and I hope your wife is doing all right.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I hope you're both doing okay. I know it's a tough time for you. Yeah, cheers, mate. But look, thank you for coming in. But look, if you need anything, me and Philip are here for you. Bye, Philip. Do you want to say anything to Mick?
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Mick. It's never easy having to go to a funeral, you know. No. It's I had one myself recently when my aunt died, so you know, I know what it's like. So listen, the best of luck to you and your wife.
Yeah, and listen, if you need anything, we are here for you. Here we go, Martin. Another more of his. We should start this as a show, you know, Martin and his tales from laying carpet or something. You know, we should. That's a show there.
Yeah, absolutely. The tales of a carpet fitter.
Yeah.
More bombshells from the carpet fitter. Harry Redknapp was not given the England job because he and Trevor Brooking, who was in charge of the FA at the time, right enough, hated one another. I wonder, does that go back to the time when Harry was managing West Ham? Probably does. Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good little tidbit there now. That's it.
Look, if you know Harry Redknapp, tell him that we'd love to get him on the channel.
Yeah.
I would love to get Harry Redknapp on. Right, Harry, what's the dirt between you? I tell you, Trevor Brooking was a great co-commentator for John Motson.
He was. Yeah. Good player too.
He was a good player. Scored the winner in the FA Cup 1980, I think, against
and who did he score it against? Arsenal. Good man, Trevor.
Yeah, good man, Trevor.
Al Simpson is saying, I hope it all went well as well as it could, Nick. Yeah, good man, Carl. And Nick is saying big up to Carl. And Daniela, our bench was crap yesterday, to be fair. Our squad is affected with national stuff and injuries. Yeah, our bench was very weak. But why wouldn't it be when you're the likes of Madison, Sarr, Bissouma, Son, Kulichevsky, all missing, among others. So our bench will be strong when we get them all boys. Get those boys back, all from Eric Hall. That's the agent, Eric Hall.
I want to get him on. I want to get Eric Hall on. I would love to get that man on.
Is he still alive?
He must be. Nice. I would love to get him on. Absolutely. See, can you sort that, Martin? If you know him, get him to get in touch with us. I'd love to get him on. Imagine some of the stories he would tell us, Philip.
I'd say so. Yeah. Yeah, Brooklyn hated Harry for leaving West Ham, etc. Yeah, fair enough. And Shamu was saying Solomon is back soon, not long after Madison. Yeah, that's it. We're going to have a very strong squad for the second half of the season. We're going to need it. It's great to see that. All same time, yeah. And Mick is saying it went okay, but it was sad. She was only 65.
That's no age. That's no age, is it, Philip? No age at all.
No age
at all. Absolutely no age. Now, look, I got a few things here in the thing now. Where is it now? Now, look, where are we going with FFP now, Philip? You look at the Man City deals, right? You look at the Man City situation, the Premier League are after them. You look at possibly Arsenal, Chelsea could be in trouble as well. Everton and Forest already been charged. We're looking at 6 more clubs could be charged, Philip. Where are we going with FFP? As I always said, football needs to sustain itself. So are the government right bringing in an independent regulator now for football? Is it time that was brought in? Or do you still think football can govern itself?
Yeah, I keep the government out of it. Keep the government out of it because they make a balls of everything they get involved in. No. I mean, can you imagine the present Conservative government putting in a regulator? They can't organise a piss up in the brewery. So no, I keep it to that. Let the football authorities make a balls of it themselves. They don't need the Conservatives to do it for them. And I think football has to govern itself. It'd be gross interference at this stage to bring it because they are getting to the root of the problem here. They are dealing with financial irregularities now, which they've let go for far too long. But now it's been done. Let them at it and don't have any interference from the government.
But has the horse bolted the stable, Philip? Have they acted too late?
Oh, maybe they have, but all they can do is judge what's in front of them now for the past few seasons, and punish the teams that are guilty. And it might be a lesson to the other teams not to get involved, not to be up for shaving next summer when they come around, next winter when they come to do it again. So no, I wouldn't. I'd whatever they're doing is never enough. But what they're doing now is more than they have been doing in previous years.
Yeah. Now, we found this little bit of news, didn't we, Philip, earlier on? And we decided, do we or don't we? But we're going to do it anyway. We couldn't actually make up but this headline was in the London.com, the one website. And it says here, Chelsea already given FFP verdict as Premier League scared off by Todd Boehly. Now, we couldn't work out why.
I can't figure that out.
I actually had a thought on that. Are they scared off because Todd Money's got all the money in the world that he will keep tying the Premier League up in red tape, bless you, for the next for the next couple of years? Or
No,
is
it's
this what it can be the only thing, Philip?
I don't know what it is. It's like, to me, it doesn't sound like it's an accurate report. If they've been given the FFP verdict, right, right, it could mean one or two things. If they're scared off of Todd Bowley, they let Chelsea off because they're scared of Todd Bowley. I do not see that happening.
No, I don't.
Because Chelsea, excuse me, Chelsea reported themselves for irregularities under the Abramovich regime. So why would Bowley report Abramovich and now suddenly backtrack and scared and tell the FA, no, I'm too big, you can't punish us? I hope Chelsea get the book thrown at them. I literally hope, and they're thrown, not the book, the library.
Yeah.
And then the bookcases after it, because they deserve it. Scum of a club.
Carl says, I just want to laugh at one thing. Onana is in a new film, lost somewhere in Africa. His international team was still looking for him. Apparently he got lost.
He was supposed to fly out last night. Probably he probably got on the wrong plane.
Yeah. Onana didn't even go to the game. He got lost and didn't get to the match on time.
Oh, is that true? Yeah.
If that is true, he probably Jim Ratcliffe has told him, here, mate, here's a few quid, you can go back to Nice. Yeah. How do you even do that sober, Carl, with all the resources they have? So look, I want to talk a bit about the Man City thing, Philip, and UEFA and FIFA. Where are we going? Where they're going with this? Are FIFA and UEFA too scared to use their own rules? Or are they just as corrupt as some of these clubs are corrupt? Are they just as corrupt as other clubs? And are the Premier League not as corrupt? Are the Premier League a different animal when it comes to charging and getting these teams getting justice for what these teams have broke the rules? Do you think the Premier League's going to be a different animal altogether?
It looks like it. It looks like they're putting their money where their mouth is. They're charging the clubs that deserve to be charged. As someone, I keep seeing like today this Everton thing, and still crickets when it comes to Manchester City. Yeah. Manchester City will get their day in court. They will get the judgment against them, and if it goes against them, which I think it has to, there is no reason why they're not going to get absolutely hammered by the points deduction or whatever, a league deduction or whatever. But it's going to take somebody to stand up and say, right, Manchester City, your day of reckoning is here now, and this is what's going to be. Whether they want to take on the hotshot lawyers that City will employ to try and tie it up again, that's another day's work.
I would recommend watching that documentary, Britain's Biggest Scam.
I saw it months ago. I have to watch it again.
I watched it again, and it's been unreal. It's really unreal how they got out of it, and how the FA was how UEFA was so what's the word I'm looking for, Philip? So
reticent to have a go.
Yeah.
So unwilling to get taken to task.
Yeah. It's shocking, and that documentary proved they were guilty.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We could all see it. They were guilty. Yeah. And this is really stuff. I mean, look, I think if Chelsea, if Man United, Man City, and Chelsea are found guilty, you chuck the book at them. You have to make an example out of somebody, or make an example out of them. Look, Philip, we've got a few transfer bits to go through, and then we'll finish off on FFP. This isn't a long show tonight, guys. Philip's tired. He's been on the go all day. I've been busy all day working, and I just want to chill out for the evening. Do you want to read some of these out, Philip, and then we can discuss each one?
I mean, that Man United will be open to a swap deal in order to sign Michael Olise. That deal could see Aaron Wan-Bissaka heading back to Palace as part of the agreement. Yeah, Olise is a good player.
Yeah,
but then again, he's probably better off at Palace at the minute.
Yes. Now, these are all rumours, by the way. These are not confirmed. These are just rumours. We've got this one, I think, it makes the biggest statement of... He had to make a big statement, Philip. It was either sacking Ten Hag or threatening the players. Do you think the latter may happen as well?
Well, the latter may well happen. And I think if Spurs had won yesterday, it would have happened already. But what they say, Jim Ratcliffe has warned players on Manchester United, if they don't perform, they will be sold. He stated that after seeing the dreadful performance at home against Spurs. You can't sack players, but you can certainly sell them. And I think he's threatening their livelihood there, so that might work. With Ten Hag, As I said, I don't think the guy's got too long left now, to be honest with you. But
Do-
you
do-
never know. You never know.
No, do you feel that Poch could be lined up for that job if he gets sacked from Chelsea?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think United will take a chance on going to a third, fourth English club. No, I don't think so.
Who do you think will take over that job if Ten Hag?
They'll be looking for someone like Zidane or someone to take it over. You know, I hope they go for Antonio Conte.
Great manager.
Great manager, brilliant manager, best manager Spurs ever had.
Yeah. If you want to be bored and disillusioned and walk away from your football club, which me and Philip nearly did, after 40 or 50 plus years of supporting the team, I think this might help Everton out of their financial problems.
Everton,
if this is true.
Amadou Onana open to joining Arsenal. God, there's no sense. The Toffees have reportedly slapped a 60 million price tag on the Mistar midfielder. Yeah, well, I mean, it would help them out of their financial problems, but it would also mean they probably get relegated. So what's the more important, you know?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any news, Philip, any updates while we're live on air. Then we've got this one from about Tottenham and Calvin Phillips, which you said earlier, but I think this more confirms what you were saying earlier anyway.
Yeah,
I think this is genuine.
Newcastle. I mean, if Phelan or Gomez from Wolves to me, or Gallagher from Chelsea, who keeps always cropping up, I think would be a better option. But anyway, let him go to Newcastle. But then, he can only be on loan to Newcastle. They can't afford to buy anybody either.
No, they can't.
They might sell Bruno Guimaraes for a ridiculous 100 million or something like that.
And then this one, I laughed at this one. Now, Man United are interested in Benzema as well. But Chelsea are considering signing both players from the Saudi Pro League, Philip, as they look to boost their attacking options. Can you see them doing it?
Yeah, I mean, okay, there's no way Benzema's on absolutely massive money. These guys are around about £500,000 a week each. Yeah. Why would they come back to Chelsea? Not even Chelsea would pay him that.
Yeah, but they would have to pay him it as part of the
they'd have to listen. But would they pay them? Are they willing to pay it? And considering the financial circumstances they're in, I don't know. I think that could be just talk. Like I see that Steven Gerrard's club is not letting Henderson come back. He's going to have to stick it out the rest of the season. So I can see the same thing happening with these lads.
I can see that they want to Juventus. I'm hearing they're looking to make it a permanent deal. That's what they're talking about at the moment. So we'll have to see what happens, Philip. Well, look, that's really it, isn't it? That's the news. That's the breaking news and about FFP and that. There isn't really a lot about. So where are we heading towards now, Philip? Where's the next bit of action do you think will happen from waiting to hear who the rest of the teams have been charged?
Wait, the other teams don't let Nottingham Forest and Everton be lonely. Just name the rest of them now and get it out there.
Do you feel the transfer window may now pick up?
Yeah, there's been very little action in it. We've been the most active club. Oh yeah, it will pick up. All right, it'll probably pick up as time goes on. Like, what are we halfway through it now?
Yeah,
it will pick up a bit, you know. And but you know, I'm just having a funny thought here. Wouldn't it be very strange if Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City, and then Villa, we're all dock points at the end of the season, right? Yeah. We won the league by default.
Could happen. It could happen. Well, Philip, we are back on tomorrow, of course, at 4:00 with Newsbeat, the Spurs transfer show, with all the latest transfer rumors, accurate transfer stuff as well. So we are back tomorrow. Tomorrow night, are we doing anything, Philip?
Well, I'm away tomorrow. Like at the moment, tomorrow night, it's weather permitting. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow night, I think there's a match tomorrow night, isn't there? So one of the League Cup semi-finals tomorrow night.
Well, it could be. Yeah, actually, you could be right. I'll tell you now.
If there is, I will do a watch along to one of them for you.
You know what night is tomorrow? It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
England. League Two, FA Cup, EFL Trophy. No, that's not it. No, there's FA Cup replays. All right.
Who's playing tomorrow night? Any decent ones that we can do a watch along to?
The Wolves versus Brentford.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
West Ham. Bolton versus Luton, and Eastleigh versus Newport, and see who has the honour of playing Manchester United. Yeah. Well, talking of West Ham, Dermot, can I just give you one bit of news I heard? I actually ended up watching a West Ham channel.
Yeah.
It appears, they've got the London Stadium for a ridiculously low rent, right? Well, it seems now that the owners are suing the solicitors that set up that deal because of the ridiculously low rent, and the end result could be West Ham may lose the tenancy of the stadium. Wouldn't that be fun?
Barney the dinosaur looking for a new home.
We'll have to find a new home. Yeah,
he will.
It's something like it was ridiculously low rent. It was, So.
Big up, guys. Who's this from, Philip? You're better at names than me.
Big up, guys. Can't wait to see Sonny back up on top with Werner and Kula on the wings. Madison and behind. Magic will happen. Yeah, we can.
It will. Haven't seen you before, so big up, sir. Welcome to the channel. And please hit the like button. All that. Chris, it says City wouldn't be charged for a phone bill. Well, maybe. We've got Carl saying have the night off, gents. When you do, you think we will know.
Well, it's probably about the other teams coming out. I don't know about the other. I don't know. They flagged the announcement today now, so I don't know when the other ones are coming.
I'm hoping to hear. Oh, hang on. I've got a bit of news. I'm asking if I can use it. I'm just gonna waiting for the big thumbs up or the thumbs down or in the middle. We don't know. Look. Yeah. Do you want to talk about a new show we've got coming on Thursday, Philip? It's going to be a belt with this one, or Wednesday. I don't know when we're doing it.
It's probably be Thursday. I think I'm out on Wednesday. Thursday. It's called 10 of the Best. We're going to pick. We're going to do a 10 of the best, varying subjects. 10 best teams, 10 best managers, 10 best strikers, whatever. But we're starting off with the 10 best cup finals, FA Cup finals. And we're going to have a discussion about them, and we're going to agree on 10, but we're going to each put them in the order of, I suppose, importance and enjoyment, and see how many we agree on. So that's in place of the roundtable discussion for a while. We're just going to change that around for a while, so it could be a bit interesting, and we want interaction from from people that are watching. What your top 10 would be, and do you agree with us, or are we talking total bonk?
Yeah, and also we are looking for a third person. So Carl and Colin will have to fight it out. We're not sure how we're going to decide this yet, Philip, are we? It could be what we're thinking. Roman fights. Do you think that could be one? We could be. What else could be? MMA. We could be having that fight in a cage, or what do you reckon, Philip?
Oh God knows, could be. It could be women's volleyball. I don't know.
Right now, I've got now how it works. Right, this is how the punishments work. The points deduction is calculated at 6 points for breaching the threshold, and then 1 point additionally for every 5 million the threshold is breached.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So you're losing 150 points then.
Yeah. What now? This is like for Everton, right? What does the transition? What does that translate into regarding a fine? 30 million for breaching. So look, Philip, if I send it to you, can you read it out?
Because
I'm finding it a bit hard. I've been talking a lot today.
Yeah, send it over.
And I'll send it over the other bit of news as well. And then we'll end off there. I'm finding it a bit hard to get my teeth around a few things.
Okay. The points deduction is calculated as 6 points for breaching the threshold, and then 1 point additionally for every 5 million that the threshold is breached by. What does this translate into regarding a fine? 30 million for breaching. Oh yeah. So it would be it could result in a fine of 40 million euros for Everton, which is 30 million for breaching a threshold, and then an additional amount equal to the breach. So if you go 20 million over the breach, you're hit with a fine applicable. It doesn't add up. Anyway, it's a fine of it's a 30 million fine for breaching the threshold. Then there is an additional fine for everyone you go over. Now, if Everton breached the by, oh boy, this is like Einstein couldn't work this one out. It could end up at the end of the day.
Right. Let me read it out, Philip. Let me so people know. Read the whole thing out so people know what you got, because that would make more sense to people.
Yeah, but this 30 plus 20 doesn't add up, though. It says 40 million. That should be 50 million, certainly. But anyway, I'll read it out. What does it translate into regarding a fine? 30 million for breaching the threshold, and then an additional amount equal to the breach. 30 plus 20 if you breach by 20 million. That would result in a fine of 40 million for Everton. I think that should be 50 million. If Everton breached the threshold with, say, 5 million this time, after a points deduction, it becomes 45 million with the 40 million fine. So the fine they would have to pay for this breach would be 30 plus 45 equals 75 million, which might as well put them out of business.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the PSR threshold, isn't it?
The PSR threshold.
Yeah, just my guess. And the bottom bit, Eric Ten Hag, a bit of breaking interesting news.
Eric Ten Hag is very interested in signing Matthias de Ligt from Bayern Munich, whose potential move away from Bayern Munich can't be ruled out. If Ten Hag remains MUFC manager past the summer, he could become a top target. However, Ange is said to be interested in a potential summer move for the centre-back. Now, Eric Ten Hag was his manager at Ajax.
Yeah.
So they have history there. But I think Bayern Munich came out unequivocally during the last couple of weeks and said he was going nowhere. So we'll see.
Look, thanks so much for reading that out. We've got do you want to read this out, Philip? And
yeah, Roland Tuma said came from the Irish Hotspur. Big up, listener of USA of Spurs, Hotspur hippie and Irish Hotspur. Ready to hear some Dermo in the know information the next days. You were right on Dragusin all along. There you go, Dermot.
Yeah.
Mick is saying, Colin's saying, I bet Colin fights dirty. There you go. Mick is saying, good show as always, lads. Thanks, Mick. And Everton and Forest from Carl. Everton and Forest are screwed. They cannot even afford the fines. That's what I'm saying. Put them out of business. And Carl Simpson, Dermo, that doesn't look like you on no camera screen. Yeah.
No, it was different. It was different. And then this one for Carl, and then we ended off there.
Saying, why the hell would the Ligt go to United? They're shit and not competing for my dinner. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Right. Thank you very much. Right. We'll be back tomorrow at 4. And please like and subscribe and do all your business. Philip, do you want to say anything else before we leave?
Yeah, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, join the clan. I get included now in the members only show that we're starting to put out. There'll be one out later on, either tonight or tomorrow morning, regarding yesterday at Old Trafford. And that's it. Good night and over and out.